taking it back and doing something a little bit different today. And we are hosting a Clear Perspective podcast. I am so excited to have Dr. Len Tau and Matthew Petchel here. And we are going live on Facebook and we are recording this because we have a really exciting topic to discuss today, which is one of the reasons why we're kind of shaking things up. We're not doing a Clearly Worthy podcast because I got two gentlemen on the call today, but we're going to go back and kind of bring it back into a Clear Perspective podcast because we have something really important to talk about. So welcome to the Clear Perspective. I feel like I haven't said that in a while.
Well, welcome. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for
great to
having us.
have you here. So many of you know these gentlemen that are on the call with me today, but Matthew, Len, let's start with you, Matthew. I would love for you to introduce yourself to my audience.
Great. Hello, and thanks for having me, Allison. So my name is Matthew Petchel. I am a principal owner of Brand Target Agency. I focus in the dental industry with mostly on the manufacturer side, helping companies launch products. And I also work on with doctors focused on implant therapy and who want to kind of grow their implant business, sort of using sort of modern tools and technology.
Love it. Dr. Tau.
Well, I think I'm definitely worthy to be on your podcast, so I appreciate the opportunity. So my name is Dr. Leonard Tau. Everybody calls me Len, so please call me Len. I'm a dentist. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I'm a podcaster. I'm an event organizer. I'm kind of industry expert in online reviews. I run the dental division for Bird Eye. I have my hands in very many different things. I've been involved in the marketing space for 13 plus years as a speaker. I had my first event in September of 2023 called Supercharge Your Dental Practice, which got raving reviews from both attendees and speakers and sponsors as well. So I'm currently doing a lot of things, but I'm excited to be here to talk about our joint venture together.
Absolutely.
And great job, Len. I want to just cut in real quick. I want to redo my intro because Len just was like, I sort of gave a very general one. And I was like, boy, Len, and everything Len said was true. And I was like, wait, I mean, I did a lot of that stuff too. I should say it. So I was actually an early podcaster. I think I like to say that I had the second dental podcast after Howard Ferrand's. And it was back in 2013, 14, somewhere.
It was like 7 minutes long, wasn't it? It was really short.
We did shorter ones, right? So the whole thing was we didn't do 1 hour ones. Howard's was like hours long. It was super interesting. And ours were more different. It was called The Dental Insiders. And I also wrote a book called Branding in Practice, which helps dentists sort of treat their practice brand more like a consumer brand, sort of get things in order. I also created an app for dentistry called Swipe back in 2017. And I also help plan events and do all this stuff. So the three of us, I think, are just such an interesting mix because I think we cover almost every corner of the industry, which is so cool.
You were worthy of that intro, Matthew.
All right. Well, good. I gotta work.
Yes. And I'm so excited to be here. And honestly, like, I just have to say, working with the both of you over the last 3 or 4 months has been so much fun. Dr. Tau, we've been working together for many years at this point, but it's been so much fun to work with you. And one of the things that I think really brings us all together is that in our world and in our kind of special spaces in the industry, we see problems or we see gaps in what practices need, what dentists need, what team members need, and what's happening. And then we find ways to close the gap. And I think that's exactly what we're doing with our joint venture today. But first, I really want to talk about, because I think, like you said, Matthew, like combined, we have a lot of knowledge. We have a lot of experience. We have different avenues of the ways that we support practices in dentistry. And we also have the ability to kind of think outside the box to create something maybe that's never been done before. And I think that really is the future of our industry. It's really looking at like, what hasn't been done? How do we solve for these problems? And how do we take practices and dentistry as a whole to the next level? And so one of the topics that we're going to cover today is growing your practice. Supercharging your practice is Len's brand. And what does that really mean? So if you could think of a general practitioner today and like what they need right now to take their practice to the next level, and that is revenue, joy, less stress, better marketing, all of the things that people are striving for right now. What do you think some of the key components are? I'm going to start with you, Matthew, to help practices actually supercharge their practice.
So that's, boy, we could talk for hours about this, but I'm going to try to make it down into less than a minute. It's that term we keep bringing up, which is growth mindset. It's changing the way you're thinking. If I go back to when I started in this industry, so we're going back 23 years, the internet was barely around, right? I mean, and digital marketing didn't really exist. So trade shows were huge, right? And you had to go to trade shows and big events because that's where you networked, you got CE, you learned about new things. And that's all completely changed in the last 5 to 10 years, so the technology and the methods are all different, but the person has to change too with it, right? And so with all these new things, you have to be open to what's out there, and this is one of those things, right? We've sort of kind of come together to create this really interesting thing that sort of solves a lot of those problems, right? I mean, we're between the speakers and the content and the location and the networking opportunity and the partners, it's all just sort of perfect for sort of making it easy to sort of go to that next level as a practice.
I love it. I agree. Len.
So Matthew said it best. I mean, I think it's all about the mindset and the practice. We're so focused on, the bottom line and worried about, making sure patients are happy, team members are happy, you're getting positive reviews. There's so many things you have to do to run a practice successfully. And the dentistry is the easy part. Being a dentist who I stopped practicing at the end of 2022. I loved practicing dentistry. I loved the business side, but doing both of them at the same time was very, very difficult.
Yeah.
We talk about burnout. We talk about work-life balance. We talk about all these things. And if you can run your business better, I think you'll have a better practice overall. And that's why I created my event in the first place. I wanted to bring a safe haven for people to come in marketing and business to help grow their practice. So if you look at everything that's going on in the world today, I think that, events are changing. Matthew mentioned, back in the day, internet really didn't exist. I remember when I bought my practice in 2007, in March that year, I bought it in January. In March, I went to the Hinman meeting for the very first time because I was not in the vendor space at that point. I wasn't a speaker at that point. And I went there specifically because I wanted to see the new equipment that I was going to put into the office that I was redesigning. That's how you found out about things. Now you go on the internet and find these things. So I think there's been such a change in the way we do business and the way we interact and the way we network. That's kind of where I see things going nowadays.
I want to add on
Absolutely.
one little thing on the end of that is, I agree with everything you said, is let's go back to 2007 when you were doing it, you kind of could do all of it. You ran your practice, you did the dentistry, you implemented the new technology, you did the marketing or managed it or whatever. And in today's modern practice, I don't know if that works that way anymore. I don't think it does. I think it has to be more of a team approach, like where you focus on, as the dentist, the practitioner, you have to focus on what works. And then you have to empower other people in your practice to either handle the marketing part or handle if you're going to focus on aligners, someone else is focused on, you're going to focus on implants, they focus on the aligners, or vice versa. And there just has to be a little bit more. It's too complicated now for one person. It's rare that I run into a practicing dentist who's like, I do it all. I handle that. You handle hiring? Yeah, I handle hiring. You do the digital marketing. I do the digital. It just doesn't, it doesn't work if you want to have that work-life balance that everybody is trying to go for and a decent quality of life. It just, you just can't do it. So you have to figure out what you love and you're good at, do it, and then find the right people and then do it together. That's most of the super GPs that I interact with, that's the model. And what we've pulled together sort of helps build that, and empower those people.
Yes, 100%. And I mean, one of the kind of things I talk about a lot in my business is we're humans first and we're professionals second. And I think for a little while, like both of you have said, we've looked to technology and we've looked to like marketing as like the solution or the answer. But the reality is behind all of the things that we're doing inside of our dental office, there's human beings, our
Right.
patients and our team and us, as, or the dentists, as individuals. And when we don't focus on that perspective or that aspect of it, we're kind of like, trying to speed along without having proper tires on our
Yep.
car. And so when you can actually slow down a little bit and look at what are these tires needing, what kind of tires do we need, that will get us to the destination that we want. And so with our world changing so fast and so much, and our industry changing so fast and so much over the last, I would say 4 years, with increases in technology, increases in patient awareness, increases in patient wants and desires, it's imperative for business owners and dentists to really think about, what do I need right now as a practice owner, as an entrepreneur, and as a dentist to take my practice to the next level? And next level, let's just be honest, is completely subjective. It is whatever you want it to be in your practice. And the way to do that is to find the skills, the technology, or the mindset that is going to get you there. And so a lot of the conversation that we're seeing right now, it was a hot topic and then it got even hotter and hotter and hotter, is clear aligners in general practices. There's so many different technologies that are coming out to support practices. There are technologies that are failing, companies that are failing when it comes to this procedure. But a lot of dentists are asking themselves, should I apply this into my practice? And if I am, how do I actually make it better? And like you said, Matthew, it comes down, very first thing is the mindset around it. And so what we've brought together is a conference. And that's why you can see we all have this Bermuda background. We brought together a conference that not only meets the needs of what dentists need today to take themselves to the next level, to supercharge themselves, but also to give them what they need as human beings in order to learn and to enjoy themselves and to have an experience that's going to help them do that. So, Matthew, do you want to tell a little bit more about our conference?
Sure. So the dates, let's get real kind of detail where you hit. The dates are May 30th through June 1st. So perfect time to be in Bermuda. My Bermuda expert tells me this is the perfect time to be there.
No
And
hurricanes, not too hot.
hurricanes, perfect temperature. And it's a 3-day learning event. 6 hours a day. There's 18 CE credits available for it. So we start at 8 in the morning and it goes till 2. So 6 hours every day. And then we leave the afternoons open for attendees to relax, do what they want, reflect on what they've learned, or spend time with their team or their spouse or by themselves if they come alone. And sort of really look at it differently. Like this is an investment in yourself and your time and your practice, and come there and learn and then reflect. We're doing, the name is kind of unique. It's supercharge your practice with more big cases where, when you're ready for more big cases, because you realize that's sort of where you want to go in the future and how you can become more profitable is implants and aligners. And if you're doing some of both, this is about adding more, right? And we'll do a group. So each day starts with a group, everybody together, sort of general session for 90 minutes, 2 hours. And then we split the room. And if you're interested in the implant content, you go over here. And if you're interested in the aligner content, you go here. And these are 90-minute master classes, these aren't like TED Talk type, little 20-minute, 15-minute things where you're going to like go, oh, that was interesting. Okay, cool. And have no idea what to do with it. These are really, they're almost more training where you're going to learn, okay, this is how I actually do it. And that was basically, we did that by design because we wanted really deep learning on what we're doing here. And we found the right speakers and the right content, and it's a perfect setup for coming in for 4 days and really going deep and learning how to grow one of these aligners, implants, or both.
Yeah, absolutely. And Len, tell us a little bit more about what you're seeing. Like you're on the road all the time. You're at hundreds of conferences a year. When you send me your lineup for the conferences you're at, I'm like, how? But you get to experience a lot of the conferences. And one of the things that you made a decision on doing in the last couple of years, you're like, you know what, I'm going to do my own conference and I'm going to make this different. And that's exactly what we're doing with this Bermuda conference. But tell me a little bit about the conferences. Like, what do you see as the future of these events?
So I think the biggest problem is so many people, as you mentioned, because of COVID, are so doing a lot of their education online. And I don't think people want to hear this, but I think we have to limit how much online CE we're allowing someone to take, because the meetings are definitely dying, in my opinion. The bigger conferences, the doctors aren't showing up. It's very much team members are showing up. They're there really to take free CE, and they're there to get swag at the table. Okay. They're getting the education. They're enjoying it. Even the smaller conferences, the CE is good. The speakers are great, but they're not being well attended. And I think that's a problem for the future of the larger events. I think the smaller events have become kind of the new age, I guess you can call it, where there's 8 to 10 speakers, if that many. There's 50 people to 200 people to 300 people max. That type of event is where people are going to be. They're going to get really strong education. They're going to be able to do a great amount of networking because everything's there. And they're going to have lots of fun. And this is where I think meetings are going. But I think the attendees have to, understand that they have to get to the live stuff. Doing a virtual component of events is such a different experience. And I wish they kind of stopped offering virtual and live at the same event, because people aren't coming if they do that. They're going to stay at home. They're going to be on the computer like we are here, and they're going to watch. And if they don't watch, they're going to keep it on like they're watching, and then they're not even gaining any education from it. So I definitely think the smaller events are the future for our industry. And that's was my focus after planning it for literally, 10 years. So.
Yeah, I am the type of person that I look at problems as potential opportunities. So if I'm seeing like a theme or something happening in an industry or in a practice or in the world, I'm like, interesting. This is an opportunity for change. And I think that's where we're at right now in dentistry. Like, we just have to do better in a way. And what does that mean by better? It means give people what they want at another level. Like, we can access CE easily. There's hundreds of online platforms. We've got Dental Flicks that you can go on, log in, and just watch CE, all the CE that you need. But people want more, people want different, people want better. They want relationships. They want connection. They want experience. They want to have that, moments with their team to be learning together, and then being able to kind of put things together and apply it in their practice. And so when we really thought of the problems in the industry, what people are needing, what people are wanting, that's how we came up with this conference. And that's why we picked a place like Bermuda. So where you can see Len's head, that is exactly kind of to the left of his head is exactly where we're going to be having our conference. It's this gorgeous ballroom, exactly to your left a little bit, where we can actually learn in the morning. We start in the morning, we learn, and we can actually walk outside and sit on the harbor and chat with each other, network, meet our speakers, meet our vendors. And then where myself and Matthew are, this is the beach club in which we will be spending our afternoons. And we're doing this because we don't want people to fly into a gorgeous venue and spend all day in classrooms, because there is going to be a time to learn, and then there's going to be a time to digest and discuss and network and be able to relax during these 3 days. And so we really were intentional about the design of this, the location of this, the venue. And what we want to do is offer practices, business owners, a real opportunity to get exactly what they need to supercharge their practice. So, Matthew, I want to ask you, what are you most excited for about this? Like, what do you think is like going to be the thing that you are most excited for? I actually think I know the answer, but you can tease it out a little bit.
I think I know the answer as well.
Well, and so I'm gonna change my answer then. No, I'm not. Two things. One is, I think the audience and the energy. I think the audience that we're targeting and getting is going to be this sort of this practice owner who's ready to learn, ready to change their growth mindset and accelerate. And they're not just there for the CE. I don't, that's not who we're going for, is just somebody to sit there and check their email while we're doing these, and somebody who's going to engage in it and be interested and really sort of take it take it to heart, and come with an open mind and an open heart, and to say, I'm coming there to make a change, and to go. And it's all good from there, because what we've put together between the speakers and the content and everything is so much information and tips and valuable sort of insight that can't help but make you grow. But the thing I'm most excited about is our speaker on artificial intelligence, and it's going to be part mind blowing and part like awakening in a way. And our speaker is, and I don't know if we're holding back his name or we're sharing it, but our speaker is not in the dental industry. This is someone who writes for Forbes magazine and works with MIT and Facebook and has done TED Talks. Like, this is like a legit big time AI speaker, and we're helping him customize his content to not just what is AI, right? I mean, you can go watch a video online and find out what AI is and how mind blowing it is with cars driving themselves, and speech, and even in dentistry with X-rays, radiographs being read by AI. We all know that stuff. What he's going to do is take it from a high level, blow your mind in a way, and then take it down to, all right, how does a dentist use AI? How can you use it to be better? And not a better clinician necessarily, but a better business owner and a better practice owner. And we've talked about a few different topics that are the pain points that most practices have: hiring and finances and data and all these things. And he's going to really go deep on those. And you're going to leave with a stack of notes or on your computer, like, okay, this is what I got to do, this is what I got to do, this is what I got to do. And it's going to be amazing. That will be not to be missed. And that is he's doing our keynote on the second day, on Friday. We'll kick the day off with him, and then it's just amazing. I'm really excited about. I mean, we're all going to learn. The three of us, whenever we do a call with them, we're like, well, we learned a couple of things there we didn't know, and then it's just really kind of evolved, and it's into just a very cool component of this event.
Yes, you are fanboying the
100%.
speaker. And I mean, I totally get it. He's really, what we're going to be doing is probably educating this group of doctors that is going to be in the room better than anyone else in the industry on AI. And it's an important topic. Like, it's something that I know it's in the back of our minds, and we're kind of like scared, nervous, scaresighted about it, but it's something we need to learn. And I think bringing the best in the country, the world, to teach our doctors is pretty special. So
yeah.
Len, what are you most excited about? You have a pretty special story with Bermuda. It's actually kind of funny. You and I met 4 years ago now. And I remember I sent you a gift from a Bermuda artist and it was on a special day, because you have like a pretty, Bermuda's a really special place for you. So share a little bit about that.
So as a younger person, I used to attend conferences with my parents for Clinician's Choice. So I have been to Bermuda multiple times. And on one of those trips, I actually got engaged to my current wife, my second wife, Rissa. We were at the the Southampton Princess Hotel, and I told them I was getting engaged, and they gave me the penthouse suite, and they filled it with all these roses. The room was filled with rose petals, and I chartered a little boat called the Sand Dollar. I don't know if it's still there, but and we went on the boat just to take a little. My wife had no clue, and I proposed on the boat and we got engaged in Bermuda. So Bermuda's always had a little special place in my heart. My parents used to love to go there for multiple reasons. So I've always had a fondness for Bermuda. I've gone there on some cruises. So it's a great place. It's a quiet island, beautiful beaches. So that's always an interesting place for me to want to get to. And that's why when I thought about doing this event, because I proposed it to you, was we're doing it in Bermuda. That was like a major part of what I was most attracted to.
Yeah, absolutely. And it really is a special place. And the good thing is it's a 90-minute flight from JFK. It's a 2-hour flight from Charlotte. Like, it's a pretty cool location that I think most people think it's like very south. It's not. It's in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It's a British colony. the main industry is not tourism, oddly enough, it's international business. And so the energy on this island is amazing. It's one of the most special places in the world. So I can't be more excited to invite my dental community to my island home and provide them with the experience that is going to help them really supercharge their practice. And so we really want to, send this invitation out. We have early bird pricing right now. We have 16 spots left for early bird pricing. The dates again are May 30th to June 1st. It's at the Hamilton Princess, again, the hotel that Len's head is right below. And we are going to just have an incredible time. So we're going to continue to share information on this event, sneak peek a couple of the other incredible speakers that we've pulled in to support you guys and the doctors that are coming. And really, you don't want to miss out on this early bird. So we are going to give you an actual another kind of discount for being on this podcast here live in the Facebook group. And if you use the code CLEARLY, you'll get an additional $200 off your registration tickets. This is for you and your key team members. So we've got doctors coming in, they're bringing their associates, and they're bringing each doctor can bring one key team member. So your TC, your clear aligner leader, and that person is going to be able to be so inspired by the workflows, the knowledge, the implementation practices that all of our speakers are going to be bringing to them. So you really don't want to miss out on this event. Again, events are changing and we see that. And so we're curating this event specifically for you to take yourself first and your team and your practice to that next level. Any final thoughts, words, anything I missed?
No, I would just sort of end on that with saying, you said earlier, you talked about how we're all human and we kind of sometimes forget that. This is going to be a human event, right? I mean, I guess all live events technically are a human event, but this one we're really there's content in there that is about, you as a person and how you're going to change. And we use the word growth mindset, but there's other things too on how to grow and how to empower others and how you can, make these little changes. Some of them are small, some of them might be big, but you don't have to make all of them. But it's a deeply human conference because the three of us are very kind of, human, warm people like that. Sort of, we love to be around people. We love to share information. We love to see people grow. We're kind of, so this is unique in a different way that I hadn't thought about until you just said, this is a human event. I was like, it is.
Yeah. And I mean, like, all change starts with a human first. We change from the inside out. It's not the other way. I had somebody on my podcast literally yesterday talking about changing from the inside out. And I think what we're going to be seeing a lot, like I really stay on top of the trends with the Harvard Business Review and like what's happening in big organizations. And, what we used to see as like soft skills, they're actually becoming so important because of the technology, because of AI. And it's the one thing that you can do to invest in yourself as a human being to get the results that you want in your life. And it's not the opposite way around. And so we're considering all of this as we build out this event, and our speakers are going to be sharing their vulnerable stories, their personal journeys into being a super GP, into having a successful practice. And I think that makes it really special. Like, you're really going to get to know the people there, including us, and spending time with us, spending time with our vendors who are there to support, spending time with our speakers who are there to support you. So I don't think you want to miss this one. Again, like, let's go hang out on this hammock in the middle of this little bay together and go and play some beach volleyball in the afternoons after we have some of the best speakers in our industry educate us in the morning.
Let's do it.
I agree.
All right.
All right. Thank you for joining us. We are so excited. I'll leave the link below, and we will see you in Bermuda.
See you there Thursday, May 30th through Saturday, June 1st.
Best time of the year.
Yes.
Bye.
Hey, guys. Bye-bye.